I first felt called when I was about 16, and it was quite overwhelming at the time, and I spent quite a lot of time Googling, can you be a vicar and be in a wheelchair, or can you be a vicar and have long-term health problems? So for me that was quite a big wrestling point, and it kind of meant shifting the different qualifications I was going to do and things at uni, but I felt a really strong conviction that God was calling me. So seeing that play out in the years to come was quite amazing, because transforming it from being something that I was really worried and troubled about to seeing how I delight into that later on was really amazing.
I was working at the time in my mid-20s, very involved with the musical liturgical life of the church, and I guess probably even before that there was something around about a future calling. But I was singing this worship song during a practice one evening, and it was I Will Worship, and there's a line in that song that says, I will give you all of my heart. And I remember thinking really clearly, this is what I've got to do with the rest of my life. And if I don't act on that this week, you know, I'm going to regret it forevermore. So I promptly went and saw my vicar at the time and said, I think there's something happening about calling, what do I do next?
We took it slow for me and for mine, because partway through I became quite unwell and not feeling like I should continue, because how could anyone want someone who was broken? And I was reassured by quite a few people in the sermon team, in the vocations team, that Christ called me as I am, and still wants me as I am, and as I am at that moment was not a disqualifier, which is really beautiful.
I remember beginning the discernment process, I was quite anxious in ways because I thought I'd have to look a particular way or fit different boxes, but actually when I met with my ADDO I was quite comforted in how they weren't expecting a perfect person in all these different forms, but actually the different ways God had been shaping me made me into a particular person, a particular minister for later on. So I think the discernment process is bespoke for who we are and who God's calling us to be. And a process actually learning more about myself along the way as well.
I'd say I found my training like a really enriching time in terms of my own faith, and my understanding of who God is was just kind of expanded so much through what I was learning and through the people that I was encountering, that it felt like a really kind of formative, expansive time of training and kind of growth for me personally in my faith as well.
The day of being ordained deacon was incredibly significant, because not only did it feel like the culmination of a lot of years going through the vocations process and also the training process, but the actual moment of ordination really clarified a lot for me. I think as we go through the process, we naturally have worries and fears and misgivings about what we're doing. We think, gosh, this is such a scary thing. But the moment in which the bishop laid on hands is perhaps one of the most significant spiritual experiences that I've ever had myself.
Ordination day was a really special day. It was so good to be able to have all of my friends and family from all over the country come and witness this really special moment where you're ordained as a deacon. It was really powerful, and it led to questions with my friends and family afterwards that they wouldn't have asked me if they hadn't been there on that day. Some of them took communion for the first time in years. Some of them had never been to anything like that, so it was really great to be able to share that moment with them and give them a bit of an insight into what I was going to be doing and what church is, and involve them in that element of my life.
But I think the most enjoyable thing is being within a context that fits my worshipping life as well, as a Christian first, and then as a deacon second, and amongst a congregation that really values having me with them and wants to sort of share my life as a whole, not just kind of what I'm giving to them as a curate. And I think that that's been a real both a support and a huge reason for thankfulness, actually.